Okay, in this next video, I'm going to show you how to make the arms. So basically, if I go back up to the top really quick, um, we are going to make one of the arms going down, but notice there's a hinge in the center of his arm, and then the other arm going up, and notice there's a hinge up there as well. And then we're going to connect through the hinges on the body, okay? So let me scroll back down to the instructions here. And we are going to start out by using the red and orange shape that's already on our work plane. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. So we're going to start with this shape up here in the top left corner. Okay, so it says you should still have the red box orange cylinder shape on your work plane. Select both shapes and rotate them 90 degrees so that the hand part or the round part is below. So I'm going to take my arrow here and I'm going to rotate it like, whoops, sorry, just like that. So it's 90 degrees below. We're going to change the height of the shape to 15. So I'm going to click, to 10. So I'm going to change the height to 10. And then we are going to change the width to 15, which is over here in the front. So that will be 15. Okay. 10 with the 15, select just the red box. So I'm going to click off of it for a second. I'm just going to move this down. Let me move this piece down here just to kind of get it out of the way. I'm going to select both of these and I'm just going to drag it down so it's closer over here. Okay. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to grab just the red box and I'm going to click I can click the black right here. And how much am I making it? The length is 21. Sorry, I'm going to do this. And just 21, it was already 20. So we're just going up an inch or a millimeter, not even an inch. Okay. We should have an extra hinge on your work plane. Duplicate it to make the elbow. So I'm right down here in the bottom left. I'm going to select that. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to drag a copy up here. And then it says rotate the hinge 90 degrees to the right and drag it so that it overlaps the top of the forearm. Be sure there's a small gap between the two. So if I go, actually, I'm just going to rotate it to the right. So we're going to go up 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and then drag it so it overlaps the forearm. Make sure that there's I think I did this backwards. Let me just look at the, whoops, let me go back here, and I just want to see which direction the little line is in. Okay, so the little piece does go up, so I did do that right. Okay, I'm going to go back down to the instructions. Okay, let me go back. So that is correct. Okay, we're going to have this overlap a little bit. And when it says to make sure, gosh, I wonder if I'm doing this wrong. Let me think about this. I'm going to leave it this way for now. We might have to go back and change it. I'm just wondering if I'm supposed to have the hinge facing up or down. So that's the only thing that concerns me right now. But I did rotate it to the right. So, and drag it so it just overlaps the top of the forearm. Select the elbow hinge, the arm, and the hand, and we're going to align them. And we're going to align them in the center. So I'm going to select them all. I'm going to go to my align. And oh, look at mine is already perfectly aligned. Look at me. Okay. We're going to select just the red forearm part. So I can click off so nothing is selected. I select just the red part and I'm going to duplicate it. And you know what? I'm going to just drag I'm just going to drag all of this down more so you can see it easier. Okay, I'm going to click the red duplicate part and I'm going to use the arrow key or drag the shape so it just overlaps the elbow. I think I put that hinge backwards. I really do. I wonder if it matters. You know what? I really think I'm going to flip it. If I end up doing it wrong, then we'll just figure it out. But I really think this should be flipped or rotated 180 degrees. Or there we go. And then I'm just going to move it down a little so that just has a small little gap in there. And then I'm going to move this piece and overlap it a little bit. I think that that's better. Okay. But I honestly think I'm going to go back to the original picture. Oh, it looks like the hinge is up. All right, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Does anyone think I'm doing this right? Is there any way that this is right? Let me go back here to look at my other one. But this was the one that I just did, so it's not going to really help. What if I ungroup this guy? I don't know. I'd have to ungroup them pretty far. The hinge is pointing up. I can see right there. The hinge is pointing up. Okay. So I think I have to reverse it. All right. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. I'm putting it back this way. I'm just moving this close so there's a little gap in there. And I just hope I'm doing this right. Okay. Use the okay, it says to select just this red upper forearm, and we're going to change the length to 24. So instead of 21, we're going to go a little bit longer and make it 24. Okay. Just overlaps the elbow hinge, select the upper end. Okay, we're going to grab a box hole. So we're gonna cut off a corner of this so that it has an angle that will fit right into the hinge right here on the side of the body. So I'm going to grab a square box, and I'm going to make the width and the length 32 millimeters. So 32 there, 32 here. And then I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. So I'm going to go just 45 degrees. Okay, now I'm just going to go back to the instructions really quick because I did do a screenshot of this. So we're going to take the box and we're going to try to cover from just corner to corner the top right corner there, okay? So I'm going to take this box and we're going to just go from corner to corner, kind of like that. And I think that looks good. Okay. And then, I dragged it. I'm going to select all parts of the arm. I'm just dragging down to select it all, and I'm going to group it together. And it should cut off. Yeah, see that's a nice, perfect cut there. Okay. All right. So now I'm on step 15. It says rotate the arm 45 degrees to the left and drag it so that there's only a small gap between the shoulder. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit so you can see this. So I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees, and then I'm going to drag it. So there's just a small gap, and you can see there is a small gap there. And then I want to line these up perfectly so the top edge of this, the top of the arm lines up perfectly with the top of the body. So I'm going to select the arm and the body. So I'm just going to drag across both. I'm going to click my alignment button, and I'm going to click this top right here so they align perfectly along the top. Okay, I'm not going to group it together because I'm actually going to duplicate the arm and bring it over to the other side. So I am not going to, I'm not going to group it at this point. So I am on step 17. So it tells me to duplicate the arm. So I selected the arm. I'm going to click duplicate. I'm just going to use my right arrow key, and I'm going to move it to the other side. And then watch where my mouse is going to go. I'm going to go to the right top toolbar again, and I'm going to click on the mirror button up here. Mirror just means you can flip. So I'm going to click on the mirror, and I'm going to flip this left to right. And this would have the arm going in the same direction, but I'm also going to flip it up and down so that this arm actually goes up. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit here, and I'm going to drag the arm to the hinge over here. Now this one, you cannot align this one at the top, because if I select both and say align on the top, it's going to align with the top of the arm, which is way up here. Okay, so you're kind of going to have to eyeball it. So I'm going to just kind of zoom in on this hinge a little bit, and I'm just going to try to eyeball it a little bit and see if I can kind of just get it to be straight. And hopefully that is pretty decent. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and recenter back to my home position. All right, so those look pretty good. This one looks kind of far apart compared to this one. So I'm going to move this over to the right. Let's see if that leaves too much space. I don't know. I think that's a pretty decent amount of space. This might have a little bit too much space. I wonder if I should move that in. Nope, that's too much. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that then. Okay, now they're all in place. So now I'm just going to drag a big rectangle over everything, and I'm going to group it all together. And we have just finished the arm part of our build. So I'm going to end this video right here. And then my last video will show you how to do the head and finish this off. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions.